I think I'll just make a Q&A video, right? I've had a few questions come through, and I just figured I'll just answer most of them if I can. You know, a few questions that I had, like, what was my first Linux distro, or what other distros do I use, what hardware do I have, you know, what am I running, I guess. Do I use Windows, do I like Windows, what I think of Windows 8, you know, stuff like that, you know what I mean? I just figured I'd just answer them today. And also, a few weeks ago I did mention I wasn't really posting too much content to the channel because I wasn't really feeling too well. And right away I got a lot of responses, people wishing me good luck and I hope I get better soon and stuff like that. That does mean a lot to me because, you know, considering that most of you guys are just strangers, for strangers to wish a random person, you know, good luck and hope you get better and stuff like that, that means a lot, you know what I mean? And anyways, I figured I'll just kind of, you know, explain what's going on with me at least. A few years ago, well, actually 4 years ago, I got injured on a job really bad. My lower back is pretty much shot. I've been going through workman's comp, you know, through the company where I was working at, and you know, the same company that's helping me out with this fired me as well. Those bastards. But anyways, my lower back shot, and my L4 and my L5 disc are no good anymore. It's been hitting my sciatic nerve on my right leg though, and this is the left leg. And when I walk real funny now. I'm in a lot of pain. It feels like there's a knife in my back all the time, and I take a lot of Vicodin, and pretty much, you know, I don't really do too much, you know what I mean? So I'm pretty much on the computer just wasting the time and you know, gaining weight and stuff like that. So I just decided not to be on the computer as much, trying to get out more, exercise more, walk more if I can, walk the dog, you know, stuff like that, get a little more motivated, I guess. Because I am planning on going back to school, and I don't want to go back to school, you know, overweight and huffing and puffing and trying to, you know, try to sit down and being in pain all the time. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to, you know, slim down a little bit at least. And every 6 months or so, they give me spinal injections like steroid or epidural kind of thing. I'll post a link to a video in the description down below in case you just want to see what it looks like. If you're kind of squeamish towards you know, needles and stuff, don't bother watching it. But if you're kind of interested to see how with the procedure, you know, what they do to me, you know, go ahead and watch it if you want to. But anyways, so where can I start? Okay, my first Linux distro was actually Mepis or Mepis. That came around because of a Vista machine my grandmother owned. And it was slow, not just because of Vista or the hardware. It was slow because we had an internet connection that was really bad, you know, just dial-up. And you know, we couldn't get DSL. We could not get, you know, what's the other one, that cable or whatever. So we just relied on dial-up, and it was horribly slow. And so, you know, I spent most of the time Googling to make my machine faster. And when you kind of, you know, Google make Windows faster, blah blah blah, you kind of get a little comparison towards Linux every once in a while, and that's what kind of led me towards the whole Linux thing, just because I had a really crappy internet connection. So I went out to my buddy's house, downloaded Mepis, and burned it to a CD, put it on the machine, and booted off of it. And you know, I couldn't connect to the dial-up, and because I couldn't connect to it, I couldn't troubleshoot the problem. You know what I mean? So I kind of stopped there for a little bit. Then I ended up getting a mobile broadband card. You know, this little crappy 5 GB a month cap limit thing that totally sucked, but a lot better than dial-up though. So I got one of those. It didn't work out of the box with I believe Ubuntu 8.04 at the time, but I think, what did I do? I think with the other computer that I had, that I bought later on, I had XP on it, and I would boot into XP, and the driver and the modem would activate. Then I would restart the machine and boot into Ubuntu off the disk, I believe, and I was able to get the modem working that way, because the driver had to be flipped or some junk. So that's how I kind of got my first online internet experience with Ubuntu, was off a CD with the modem broadband card or whatever. That was a while ago, but you know, now they all work great, you know what I mean? So anyways, but I didn't stick with Ubuntu. I ended up jumping to Fedora for a while. Then from Fedora I went to OpenSUSE. Then from OpenSUSE I went to PC Linux OS, then back to Ubuntu, then back and forth, and pretty much since 2011 or maybe 2010, right about Lucid, I've been using pretty much Ubuntu full time. and I'm digging it. I like it. It got a little shaky with Unity though, you know, with Natty. That was kind of weird for a moment, but I like what they're doing now. It's all right. But anyways, what was the other question? How long I've been using GIMP? About 4 years, 4.5 years. I do use Photoshop from time to time, but I'm not really a hardcore Photoshop user. What was the other questions? What hardware do I have? Okay, I have quite a few pieces of hardware. I tend to buy and sell stuff off of Craigslist sometimes, you know what I mean? So my main machine I just recently rebuilt. It's a ASRock, oh geez, what's the motherboard? Extreme 3 or Extreme G3 or Extreme something. It's a not an SLI board, but a Crossfire board, but I don't have any ATI cards. I have one single NVIDIA BFG 250 overclock edition, which isn't really much of anything now, but it's just the old school, you know, basically a 9800 on steroids, with AMD Black Edition 3 gigahertz quad core, unlocked to a 6 core. The motherboard actually unlocks the extra 2 cores with 8 gigabytes of DDR3 PNY memory, and I think a terabyte and a half, 1 terabyte of what's it called, Western Digital Black, and I think another 500 gigabyte Western Digital Blue or Black, I can't remember. So anyways, that's my main rig. My other machine is not as good, but it's just you know, a little crappy a little Dell Optiplex 620 with the Pentium 4, but I threw away the Pentium 4 and I put a little Pentium D, what do you call it, 3.4 gigahertz processor. So it's pretty much nothing, but it's a lot better, you know, better than what it was. But anyways, that's what I have for my secondary machine in my bedroom. My laptop, I have a Toshiba M305, which died on me a couple weeks ago, but I managed to get it back going again. I bought this one strictly for school. I want to go back to school, like I mentioned before. It's a 14-inch display. I thought it would be right for me, but even though I like it a lot and I want to use it, but it's a bit heavy, it's a bit bulky. It's like, it's a good form factor. It feels right. It's just that it's heavy. You know what I mean? It's just a brick. So I'm thinking of probably selling it. The problem that I had with it was basically the CMOS battery was old. I unplugged it and plugged it back in, and now it boots up fine. And this one is my old Acer 5315. This is my little guinea pig. I throw whatever on it. I Hackintoshed it. I'm running Windows 8 at the moment on it. I put all kinds of Linux distros on it. It's very, very Linux friendly. Haven't had a problem with it at all. If you're going to Hackintosh this machine, be sure, I think, to remove the wireless card and put a Broadcom card. Then it'll work. Did I say what it was? It's a 5315. It's a Celeron processor, 1.6 or 1 point whatever. I removed that one as well, and I put a T6400 dual core, so now it runs a lot better with 2 gigs of RAM, and it has an old school like computer lab vibe going on, that beige looking color, but whatever. So the other question was, do I like Windows 8? You know, what do I think about it? You know, I had a conversation with somebody through some PMs, and generally I like the concept of it, but I don't really like using it, especially on this machine that I'm using. It's a single touch trackpad. It's not like a multi-touch or gesture or anything like that. If it was like a multi-touch or like, you know, swipe or pinch to zoom or whatever, then yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool. But if you're just using your basic input, you know, like a mouse or single touch trackpad, it's kind of crappy. You know, it's kind of hard to maneuver. You know what I mean? One thing I do like Windows 8 with the Metro UI, I like the idea of logging into my machine and seeing my mail, seeing my messages, seeing my contacts, or what do you call it, like my Twitter feed or weather. I like that idea. I mean, I like that concept. I would like to see that kind of be implemented into like GNOME Shell or Unity, like a lens or an overview kind of a thing when you log in. So I'm digging that, but everything else, it's all right. And I think the problem is I can't really give it a yes or a no, because I haven't experienced it on a tablet or a touch device, kind of like the way it's meant to be used. But it's all right, I guess. I wouldn't buy it though, not yet at least. But it's okay, I guess. So anyways, So that leads to other questions. Do I use Windows? Yeah, I do use Windows. I don't use it all that much. I play games on it, but Photoshop, there's some software that I use that doesn't work on Linux, like what's it called? Like Manga Studio is an art program where you can draw and stuff like that, like manga and comic books. That does work under Wine, but it doesn't work very well. So I use it on on Windows. And that's about it, really. I can't think of anything else. What other questions to answer? I should have written them down. But anyways, yeah, I guess I'll make another video like this later on. So anyways, thanks for watching. I will try to make some more videos. I'm planning on making some more GIMP videos. I want to start focusing on that. You know what I mean? But anyways, that's it for now, and see you guys later. And thanks for watching.